The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. There is a moment in history when a leader stops speaking in diplomatic code and starts speaking in the language of sovereignty. That moment arrived in Gaborone this week when Botswana's President Duma Boko looked the rumors of a U.S. military base straight in the eye and dismantled them. He wasn't just cleaning up gossip. He was declaring a new era of regional independence. For months, the halls of power from Washington to Brussels have been filled with whispers about strategic real estate in Southern Africa. But President Boko made it clear, Botswana is not for sale, and it is not a pawn in anyone's geopolitical chess game. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Why are these rumors of Western bases so persistent? Because there are forces, both external and local, that benefit from the perception that the alliance of Sahel states, AES, and their neighbors are weak, isolated, or reliant on foreign muscles. They want the public to believe that no African nation can stand on its own feet. President Boko cut through this noise with surgical precision. He pointed out that real international communication happens through official authoritative channels, not through whispers, not through malicious social media campaigns, and certainly not through honest but mistaken beliefs. He categorized these rumors for what they are: either latter ignorance spreading by actors who are desperate to stir up instability, hostility between Botswana and its sister neighbor, South Africa. Look at the connection here. The leaders of Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso have spent the last year proving that security is not a foreign product that can be imported. It is an internal responsibility that must be built by the people of the region. President Boko is signaling that Southern Africa is not lagging behind this awakening.
And there won't be. But there is no U.S. military base in Botswana. None. There isn't. There has never been. And there won't be. A U.S. military base in Botswana. To the best of my knowledge, and my knowledge of public international law, we always say international law, and we use it to mean public international law, because there's something called private international law. Now, under public international law, a state, a government, communicates in an identifiable way through either its president at the highest level or its officials under authority. When there is such communication, it is authoritative. Now, in relation to this U.S. military air base, there has never, to my knowledge, been any communication from the South African government alleging that there was a U.S. military base in Botswana. And I'm speaking at the official level. There's never been. And so often we are called upon to respond to rumor and gossip passed at certain levels and stages. And it is erroneously ascribed to a state when it is actually not communication from and of that state. I just wanted to make this distinction very clear so that we understand that all these assertions and claims and allegations about the existence of any military base have come at the lowest levels of people either gossiping or genuinely misled, operating under an honest but mistaken belief. Now, this honest but mistaken belief becomes singularly dishonest, where clarification upon clarification has been issued, and in the case of our government, of our country, by the Botswana Defense Force, by the Ministry for International Relations, and other authoritative pronouncements on the matter, that have stated and stated categorically, repeatedly, that there is no U.S. military base in Botswana. None. There isn't. There has never been. And so any claim to the contrary is either informed by lethal ignorance or, as I said, honest but mistaken beliefs, or downright malice, may actually be malicious, peddled by people who want to stir up confusion and hostility. Happily, between the two countries, all those have not attained the objectives, if any there were, of creating a rift between the states. So I make it clear here and now, there is no such military base of the United States in Botswana. There has never been. And there won't be, because of the foreign policy of the country and how it relates with its neighbors, no less the Republic of South Africa.
But listen to what President of South Africa Ramaphosa said.
The utilization of a so-called base in Botswana, I think President Boko has addressed that. And we don't hold the view that there's a US base here that is on the ready to attack the Union buildings. What I do know is that Botswana will never allow any of its territory to be utilized to attack its sister country like South Africa. I know that for a fact. I could wake him up at 3 o'clock in the morning and he will confirm that at any given moment. So I don't have a sleepless night about an attack on the Union buildings being launched against South Africa from the Botswana territory. We relate on the basis of deep respect, deep recognition for our sovereignty, and also on the basis of great partnership between our two countries. We've characterized it as a long-standing partnership that predates us, that predates even apartheid, that predates colonialism. Our forebears were dealing with each other over centuries, so we are not about to disturb that. If anything, we must enhance that and make sure that this special relation and strategic relationship is safeguarded and it's uplifted to a much higher level. Botswana is a very special strategic partner of South Africa. We trade well, but we want the trade imbalance between our two countries also to be corrected. The trade balance is in favor of South Africa, and I can stand here as the President of the Republic of South Africa and say, I want that to be corrected, to be balanced, so that Botswana must have a sense that, yes, the equality that we seek is not only in words, it is in deed as well. And we must support each other. We must support each other's growth. We must support each other's development. And much of what we do should be based on fostering each other's growth and development.
You could almost hear jaws dropping across the continent. From the bustling streets of Johannesburg to the vibrant markets of Nairobi, Pan-African voices are buzzing. Social media exploded within minutes. Duma Boko is speaking for all of us. Finally, a leader with backbone. The shockwaves are real. This speech has rattled diplomatic circles from Washington to Brussels and lit a fire under every African who is tired of external powers treating our nations like strategic real estate. What makes this moment so electric is how President Boko delivered it. He spoke like a true son of the soil, calm but cutting, measured yet merciless on the facts. He reminded everyone that real state communication happens through official channels, not through whispers, rumors or malicious social media campaigns designed to pit African neighbors against each other.
By ruling out any U.S. military presence, he is signaling that regional solidarity is the only security architecture that matters. He isn't just protecting Botswana, he is protecting the peace of the entire SADC region. He confirmed that Botswana will never allow its territory to be used as a launchpad to attack a sister nation like South Africa. Now, connect the dots to the broader contradiction we have been documenting on this channel. Why do global powers like France and the US demand strategic autonomy for themselves while demanding strategic dependency for Africa? They want the right to secure their own borders and control their own resources, but They label any African leader who does the same a destabilizer. They need our borders to be porous. They need our security to be volatile. And they need us to be dependent on their hardware and their intelligence because it ensures their permanent influence over our gold, our minerals, and our energy future. President Boko's rejection of a military base is a direct strike against this extractive model. When you reject a foreign military footprint, you reclaim control over your own airspace, your own intelligence, and ultimately your own national policy. The most compelling part of President Boko's address wasn't just about what he rejected, it was about what he proposed. He called for the removal of the bottleneck that have kept our economies fragmented. He spoke of one-stop border posts, corridors that actually move, and of regional integration that is practical, not just theoretical like they have been doing. This is the ultimate rebuttal to the imperial agenda. They want to keep us divided, trade imbalance, and dependent on their military protection. President Boko is saying, we don't need your bases. We need to trade with each other. We don't need your intelligence. We need to share our data to build our own technology. The ripple effects of this speech are already being felt. From the bustling streets of Johannesburg to the halls of power in Abuja, there is a growing realization the question for every leader in the SADC region now is, will you follow this path of principal sovereignty, or will you remain talking and doing the old things of dependency? The dots are connected. The agenda of the foreign power is exposed. They are losing their grip on the narrative because leaders like Boko are speaking the truth. Stay vigilant. They want you to believe that our nations are weak and that our survival depends on them. The truth is the exact opposite. Our survival depends on our ability to reject their interference and forge our own destiny. This is the latest Dojin 1. We are not backing down. Sovereignty is not negotiable. Like, subscribe, and share this message. The fight for our future continues. And like Iran said, foreign bases are never a shield. And when you look at what happened in the Middle East, we saw that the Gulf states came out and even claimed that when things became hot, they were abandoned by the same people who used their soil to launch strike. So that should tell us nobody will ever come into Africa to protect us. And these bases that we have can never give us the protection we are looking for. If it will, we would have seen these things protecting their wealthiest allies in the world. And the report said when things became hot, they even ran and left these bases. So why not unite as a people, fight and build ourselves our own security like we are seeing in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, rather than waiting on people to come here and protect us? We hope that our leaders, as they are talking, they will act and not just talk, because we have seen them talk all the time. We are the only ones that can set ourselves with united we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the Africans is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world. In Africa, Southern Africa,